It's week 2 of the NFL, and this one features Josh Jacobs. He was unstoppable a week ago with 4 touchdowns. It's the Raiders and the Bills. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
Well, there is a brand new stadium starting to take shape just across the way, but for now, the action is here at Highmark Stadium in Buffalo, New York. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And Jimmy Garoppolo has shown that he can be a Super Bowl quarterback, but his biggest problem, his ability to stay healthy and remain on the field. When able, he's a capable quarterback prone to winning games both in the regular and postseason.
A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 3 touchdowns on the ground, and then, Charles, he threw one in through the air for good measure.
Yeah, you know you have to account for him in all situations. I mean, we know he can run the heck out of the football. You just noted what he did. But how about him being able to get out of the backfield, catch it, and get into the end zone as well?
And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. You look at this Buffalo defense, and they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
I always think back to what my defensive coordinator in college used to tell me. Playing against the run is 11 individual battles. Man,
and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. It's a big play there for Vegas, and even 40 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The Raiders at 1-0 on the year following the win in week 1. And this would be quite a start for them if they could win 2 straight on the road.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't do them any favors. They gave them 2 road games right out of the gate. But the thinking on the team has to be, imagine if we win these 2 games, what a setup for the rest of the season for us.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that.
Touchdown, Raiders! Josh Jacobs, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead on the road here in Buffalo. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Hines opting not to risk it, and this will come out to the 25. Well, here come the Bills for their first possession, led out by their 27-year-old quarterback in year 6. It's Josh Allen.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
Now the new pickup from New England. This is Damian Harris. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Harris coming up with a solid run there. He shifted to a more complimentary role last season in New England due to some injuries and the emergence of others, and posted the fewest yards and carries of his past 3 seasons. That influenced an AFC East jump from the Patriots to the Bills, where he got a 1-year deal to prove that he can be the lead back once again.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football. Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 8. As they've got it as we resume action. Allen going to fire quickly and get it to Diggs out wide. So he stopped for no gain. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Abdullah to return. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's got some space here. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Garoppolo looks to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Garoppolo. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here we go.
2nd and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Raiders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was Hunter Renfrow who capped things off with a touchdown reception. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no thought of a return here for Hines. The Bills going to take over now late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Allen now on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. Now the punter, Sam Martin, called on to kick it away here. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fielded at the 33. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first. Maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Again, it's Harris on second down. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll head down, well, everyone's eager to resume play here in this Week 2 contest, so we push right through halftime and back at it for the start of quarter 3. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. A 2-touchdown game, 14-0 to score as we get rolling again here in this second half. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there, because to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chandler Jones picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Allen going to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Max Crosby able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Allen. And that is incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs on getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. Take it at the 37. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know that...
And this is caught at the 20. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one good for 37 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. On play action, now Garoppolo. He's got it. Touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Raiders are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Hines opting not to risk it, and this will come out to the 25. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Eluding the pressure right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. He misses yet again. And the struggles here, they look pretty uncharacteristic for him.
You're certainly right about that. Mechanics are the key right now. Feet, arm, not in sync at all. He ends up throwing that one past his receiver that's open.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Allen. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. One final try here for Allen. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. Look at the spin. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Raiders are on their way to a 2-0 start. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule, because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no thought of a return here for Hines. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And the pressure gets to him again. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Back to throw. Allen. And that will be incomplete. This one winding toward a conclusion. And how would you assess how the secondary is played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitching a shutout. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Here we go.
Oh, Garoppolo's going to throw it. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
So I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you. No question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Carlson on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Hines opting not to risk it, and this will come out to the 25.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. Allen's throw going to be caught by Davis. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On play action, Allen. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and